Hello, this is Feles with more Realm of the Mad God. Since I did a lot of playing around in the higher level areas, more of the end game material, I think it'd be worth taking a look at some of the earlier stuff. And I've always wanted to try creating a rogue, so I think I'm going to create a rogue. And we're going to try some lower level material stuff and show you how I can get to level 20. Usually I'd give myself some better gear than the starting stuff, but I know that not everybody has better gear, so I think it'd be worth taking a look at how I level up without better gear. Just starting with the tier 0 equipment that you get and the non-existent armor and ring. Basically, my strategy for leveling up is simply just to go around and kill the quest bosses that are given to me since and then around level 12-ish, a little bit higher, I go to the Godlands and sit around and let people kill the gods, and I get XP for that as well. And since I don't have items, I'll also be looking to try to get some drops to improve my gear. So, I go around and kill these little cubes and things, and I don't really know Rogue that well, so I'm also trying to learn how to use the cloak effectively while I do this so I don't kill myself later. I'm sure if I play this more, you guys will see me die pretty often, because what I understand, unless you're good at Rogue, it's pretty hard. So, and I know I'm not good at Rogue because I never really played it. So, if you don't know, Rogue can cloak himself and enemies won't attack him until he's uncloaked. Unless, of course, there's other people near them, in which case you can get in the way of the bullets by accident and get yourself killed, something you need to watch for. This is the lowest level cloak, but it still cloaks for about 3 seconds. Some of the higher ones are like 5, 6, I don't really know. Have to take a look later. And as you can see, this stuff here is pretty easy, but it can hurt just because I don't have armor. Usually I'd give myself better armor, like I said, and this stuff would do almost no damage to me, but that wouldn't be any fun now, would it? And like I said, not everybody has good armor, so it's worth knowing how to do this stuff without armor. It basically involves dodging all the little arrows and stuff. Also, one of the most important things in this game, in fact, I'd say the most important thing, since one of the most important things is not dying, is learning how to nexus properly. First of all, never have your nexus key on insert. It's way too far. Have it near your fingers, someplace like R or F. I put mine on R, but F is also good. And learn when to do it. Basically, don't go dive for loot. Don't go kill yourself to try to hit an enemy, because whatever loot it has, it's not worth your character dying. At all, ever. Especially if he has max stats. There's no loot that's worth that. Also, always have full health potions, because health potions are nice. By default, health potions are on F, mana potions are on V. If you put your Nexus to F, you'd have to remind that to something else, but that's your decision, not mine. That's why I like Nexus on R. It's pretty easy, too. But these guys are pretty easy. Most of the lower level stuff is pretty easy. It shoots pretty slowly. And although there's a lot of them, I can dodge it pretty easily. That's another thing you have to learn how to do, is to dodge. But that's obviously not something you can just sit around and do. You just have to play the game, and eventually you'll get better at it. I was pretty bad when I started, and I've started to get better now. I can see this guy shoots, and he shoots a single big bolt going at you that you can just move aside to dodge. And he shoots lots of little bolts near him that have almost no range, so as long as you don't stand next to him, you can't get hit. And that's another thing, is knowing patterns of your enemies. If you know what their attack patterns are, it's much easier to dodge, rather than if you just try to watch and see what their patterns are. If you already know, you can just dodge them. That's why if you... Ooh, cool. Dagger upgrade. That's why if you ever try to do Godlands farming, it's worth learning what all the gods do, what all their attacks look like, and the best ways to kill them all. And I think I'll show that later in the video. Maybe this one if I can get to level 20 quick enough. It's, the realm god, the ones in the center of the map, are the ones that you're going to be killing the most for farming your initial potions, because event bosses usually are harder. Just if you don't have good gear. And you can get up to tier 8 weapons and tier 9 armor from the Realm God and tier 4 abilities. And tier 4 rings, actually. Yeah, they drop para rings. That means that most of that stuff isn't really worth a whole lot. I mean, you can usually sell the abilities or some of the top armors and weapons that are most used for speed potion, but it usually takes a little while, and it's generally, unless you don't have a whole lot of potions, it's generally not worth doing. But for just starting out, it is worth trying. Oh wait, no, I don't have a ring. It is worth picking some of them up and trying to sell them, because getting those first few potions are good. And also what I'd recommend doing if anyone wants to try farming the Godlands is to create a separate farming character from the character you're going to pot up, basically. So you wanna play Knight, let's say. That's what I wanted to do. But Knight is pretty bad for farming the Godlands, since he has almost no range, and the gods kind of tend to eat him since he has no range, because you have to stand next to them. And since he also didn't have a whole lot of defense, I couldn't eat shots. So I created a Necro, which is actually quite good for farming the Godlands, because you can heal, and you can, you have range. The only thing is he's a bit slow at killing the gods. That's why Wizard tends to be better, because he's much less slow. Also, if you've noticed, Oryx has closed the realm, and will soon be taking me to his castle. I guess this is a good time to show you that. I hope I don't die doing it, because I'm only level 5, but usually if I stand in the rear, I'll be okay. And I also get a ton of XP, but I probably won't actually be going to Oryx himself. But we'll see. Maybe. I'm going to try to use the cloak for good. Oh, see, these guys actually attack regardless of whether or not there's someone there. They're just always doing that. So you see, if I cloak, they're still doing it, despite no one actually shooting me. See? And then suddenly I appear and they start shooting again. Usually there's not a whole lot of monsters that do that, just attack without anybody being there. But it doesn't really matter because that range is extremely short. It's nice to get a better cloak to see how much increase in invisibility time I get. I think it's worth also explaining stats now. Attack makes you do more damage with your weapon. Defense, each point of defense reduces how much an enemy can hit you by until it can only do 85%, no, 15% of its original damage. So if something can hit you for 100 damage, and you have 75 defense, it can hit you for 25. If you have 90 defense, it can still hit you for 15, because it's 15% of 100, if that makes sense. So there's a lower limit of damage that things do. So things can't do zeros or ones unless, higher level stuff can't do zeros or ones regardless of how much defense you have. Stuff like this will, but oh, I guess we're going to Oryx now. So when you kill all the bosses in the realm, you get sent to Oryx's castle and attempt to kill the Mad God Oryx. The entire realm gets sent, so all these people are going there. As we'll see in a second. Fortunately, this interrupted my stats explanation, but I'm going to be sitting behind and doing that a whole lot. So anyway, speed. Oh god, I'm walking forward. Please stop doing that. Please stop doing that. Okay. My key locked for a second. Anyway, speed obviously increases your speed. It's pretty straightforward. Dexterity increases how fast you shoot. Vitality increases the rate at which your HP is restored. Wisdom increases the rate at which your MP is restored. You can get life potions, which increase your HP by 5, and mana potions, which increase your MP by 5. And that's all the potions there are. And each class has a different maximum stat that they can get from potions. So, for instance, every single class has a maximum defense of 25, except for a Knight, who has a maximum defense of 40. And these are all online on the Realm of the Mad God wiki. I guess I'll link that in the comments, because it's an extremely useful thing that everybody should use. As you see here, I'm getting tons of XP just from sitting behind and doing absolutely nothing. Because in this game, if you're near someone, you're automatically in a party with them, and you get all the XP they get. So I can just sit here, do absolutely nothing, and mooch XP off all these people, and it's fun. Of course, if I happen to run in front of someone and they hit me, I'll probably die, because I don't have any defense or any HP. The other unfortunate thing is I'm not getting a whole lot of loot from doing... Oh god. Oh god! No, I don't want to fight you! Go away! Ah! Ha! Cloak saves the day. Die. No! No! As I said, it's worth knowing when to Nexus, and being stood on by a guy who can one-shot you is usually a good time. It's unfortunate that these loading times... There we go. That wasn't so bad. I also don't want to stay in Oryx too long, just because I'll end up with crappy loot. So I won't be killing anything. So... If I were leveling up a character to 20 when I was already putting good stuff on them, I probably would have stayed there, because I would have been able to take hits, and I wouldn't need to go get more loot. But since I'm showing people how I kill things lower level, I guess we're going to go kill more things lower level, because sitting behind everybody in Oryx is boring. And I wish this wouldn't take so long to load. I don't know why loading times have been so long recently, but particularly today. Oh, this is a new realm. So there's no one in the Godlands yet, not that I'd be going there yet anyway. But this is good, because I can start out near... Oh, God. So, something to watch out for, there's little gray blobs, because they can rush from the edge of the screen into your face, and yeah, like that. And those do 18 damage apiece, so eating 10 of those, or more, will probably kill you. They're called gray satellites, and they've... Ow. See? I ate half of them. No! Stop! Please! For the love of God, please. See how well this cloak works against the dragon. Well, pretty well, except that it doesn't really matter, because dragon's pretty easy to kill anyway. His attacks are pretty slow moving and pretty regular, so I can generally dodge them, although I'm not doing a very good job now. Yay! Oh, a purple bag. Oh, it's a robe. Go away. Go away! Go away, Sprite. I don't want any of your things. Yeah. Another horn drake. Let's go kill it. Why do we kill it? You might... Ooh, dwarves. Hello, dwarves. Cloak. I'll attack that guy, because he's a knight. Take the... Oh, no! Armor. Give me that. Yeah, tier 5. Go away, basilisk hide armor. Bear skin. I have the skin of a bear now. Great. Ah, no! So if anybody's having trouble killing things at low level, basically keep killing things, learn how to dodge, learn how to nexus properly. And, you know, that doesn't mean, like, if you take a hit, you nexus. Usually if you're lower than half or so and you're in the middle of fighting stuff and you have no way to heal, then it's worth nexusing, especially if something menacing is walking towards you. Just because you don't want to die. Nobody wants to die. But everybody dies. And that's another thing. Don't be afraid to die, because you'll do it. I do it. You'll see me do it eventually, I'm sure. Dying is part of the game, and if you don't like dying, then either this isn't the game for you, or you better learn to not die. It's that kind of game where you will die. The game hates you. The game will kill you, and the game won't care. Sometimes you'll die to lag, but that usually doesn't happen as much as you might think. Usually if you start to lag, if you're in the middle of fighting something scary, you close the browser. That's because you can't actually escape with an Nexus key if you're lagging that hard, but usually closing the browser will kick your character out. That's the best way to save your life. Sometimes it does happen. Sometimes you die to lag. That's pretty much the only time where you can't blame yourself for dying. I don't think that's actually ever happened to me, but I've heard it happening many times, of course. Ring of Greater attack. Yeah, I'll do that. Go away. But yeah, lag sucks. Ooh, I'll go kill the Lich. That sounds like fun. Pretty much, if you die, 90% of the time is your fault, and you should learn something from your death. Learn something from every death, and that'll make the game more interesting, because you'll never die the same way twice. And if you do, well, that's just silly. You should learn from your mistakes. For instance, now I know that I should be a lot more careful on Oryx with the Knight, because I killed myself on him. And as of now, being more careful to me means not doing it. So... But I'll do it eventually sometime, once I'm a bit more confident. I also know not to fight rock dragons, because my wizard got killed on one. If you didn't see from the last video, I actually remembered what I died to. The rock dragon, or the eye of the dragon, as it's shown on the quest log, the quest thingy, is very scary, because he goes pretty fast, and if he shotguns you, you die, pretty much. And it's pretty hard to avoid. Not only that, but his minions are also assholes. They're actually the ones that killed me. I was about half health just from taking a couple hits from the dude himself. And one of his minions stood on me and hit me with about 10 bullets. So that was fun. And I did not survive that. And now I know not to do rock dragons, because they're kind of pointless. They don't really drop anything good yet, since the dungeon that is going to exist for... Also, I'm getting my ass kicked by this lich. The dungeon that he's eventually going to drop, which I think he dropped before and it was removed from the game for some reason, doesn't exist yet. So, yeah. There's really no reason to kill him, because I don't think he drops anything particularly special that any other event boss doesn't drop. So I don't bother with them anymore. Also, apparently I'm too bad to kill a lich, because... yeah. Cloaking seems to work pretty well against him, though. Only I had more cloak time. Oh god, look at all these forest animals. Oh god! Oh! Go away! Rabid forest animal thingamajiggers. I don't even know what they are. Come on, come down here. These guys all have funny hats. How come they're all kings and pharaohs and shit? How come they don't just raise normal people? Or, like, warriors? I don't know. Never mind. Silly liches. Where are all these dead bodies even coming from? Or did you just create them? Ow. What is this thing? I cannot figure it out for the life of me. Oh, it's dead now. Like, I know some of these are probably, like, jaguars? Other forest-shaped animals? But I don't know what the big teddy bear-shaped thing is, so I just call it a teddy bear. And I don't think I'm going to be able to kill this lich by myself, just because I don't do a whole lot of damage and I can't take a whole lot of hits. But hopefully I can get some drops, and then I'll be able to do more damage and more hits. Although, I think it's almost time to go to the Godlands and just sit around. Go away. I do need better gear. Oh, gear. Give me the gear. Oh, man. Into ancients. The ancients are a bit easier. Hello. I'm gonna go kill the ant-ancient. Go away, bee. Be gone! Ha 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 ha! Sorry. And yeah, this is pretty much how I level. I just try to go towards quest things and kill anything in the way. Maybe it's not the fastest way, but I find it to be the most fun. And that's all I care about in this game, is having fun. This guy is helping me. Huh, that's interesting. He has a staff of diabolic secrets in some kind of crappy robe. I don't understand that, but I won't question it. Maybe he got lucky, or maybe someone gave it to him, I don't know. Said I won't question it. Almost level 11. Some of these little guys only give 2 XP. I think they should give more. I didn't get anything! Aw, man, what a ripoff. That's dumb. I did a lot of damage there, didn't I? Thought I did. Stop healing him. Come here. Come here. Yeah. Oh, I'm dying. Kinda. Not really. Yeah. Go sit around the Godlands for a minute. See what happens here. Or at least I can kill some of these higher level things. I really need a better weapon. This. Ow! What was that? 100? Go away. Probably some jerk. Some jerk god. Anything here? Oh, look, a ghost king. I can get some nice loot from him. No, don't buff him. Don't do it! For some of these lower level things, at the beginning, they just kind of soak up damage, just kind of to see how much damage you can do. And they'll adjust their difficulty appropriately. So Ant God, Ghost God, and the Lich all do this. Not the Ghost, sorry, not the Ghost God. The Ent Ancients, Ghost King, and the Lich all do this. So, if you're a high level and you're trying to clear or close the realm by killing these things, don't just wail into them at the beginning. Just hit them a couple times until he starts blinking blue, and then just sit there for a little while. So I'm glad there's so many people, because this shit would be hard by myself. Hopefully one of these things will drop something half decent for me. Like a better dagger. Any tiered cloak that's not tier 0. Because so far I haven't found one. There's a thing. And somebody already took it. Ow. Ow. Oh no! I didn't realize how low HP I was. It's okay, I'm safe. I'm all good. I really wish these Nexus times weren't so long, though. Here we go. Yeah, survived with almost 100 HP. That's plenty, right? I really need better gear. I'm level 13. I still have a tier 0 cloak. A tier 3 dagger. I mean, this thing's okay for my level, I guess, but I need a better dagger and cloak. Cloak and dagger, as they say. Cloak and dagger. I might go to the God realms, the Godlands, and try to get some damage into a god. If you're not aware, you only need to do a certain amount of damage to monsters in order to have a chance at a soulbound drop, which is bags that are purple, cyan, blue, or white, which are bound to you, so no one else can pick them up. I don't know what the actual percentage of a thing's life is. I think it differs between enemies. But as long as you can do enough damage, you can get a drop. You don't have to get the kill. You don't have to do the most damage. You just have to do enough damage. And even at this level, I should be able to get a couple of drops from the gods if I'm careful and don't be stupid. And again, these loading times are pretty long. I apologize for this. Not much I can do about it. There we go. Usually, if you want to get to the Godlands, you look at the middle of the map and see where all the little level 20s are and teleport to them. And that'll get you to the Godlands. And now I think it's worth trying to explain what all the gods are, what they do, which would be easier if I have a bit more time. I can fight them solo, so I'm going to go walk off. I'm going to see if I can kill God solo at level 13. Ooh, look, a thing. Yeah. Okay. So, great. Oh, okay. Slime Gods. So what he does is... Ah, damn it. Come on. I'll try to explain it without him being there. There's some gods... Oh, there's one. So what he does is he tries to follow you. You see, if I walk to the left, to the right, his attacks will go in the other direction. So if you strafe like that, you can pretty quickly kill him. This is the same with the Ent God as well. So... Oh, I think someone with a good amount of stats died because they're memorializing him. See if I can... Wow! So, when you die, there's a gravestone that's left there, and the gravestone is bigger or smaller based on how many max stats you have. So if you're like my level, like level 13, you'll just drop a tiny wooden tombstone, and it'll disappear pretty quickly. If you're level 20 without any max stats, it'll be a small stone tomb. And the more max stats you get, the bigger the tomb will be. This particular tomb is when you have 8 out of 8 stats. So that's all your stats max. Life, mana, attack speed, vitality, defense, dexterity, wisdom, all of them. And this guy died in the Godlands. I don't know why. But rest in peace, good warrior. For you will be remembered for a little bit. Poor, what's his name? MrMagmall. You will be remembered, son. You will be remembered. Yeah, if you see a big gravestone, usually it causes a lot of commotion because people with 8 out of 8 stats usually don't die that much. Anyway, back to my introduction to the Godlands. Here's a Medusa. Now these are probably the most annoying things, mostly because of those bombs. I'll take one hit from them just to show you how much damage they do, but I don't like to take more than one. Yeah, so I'm almost dying already. That was 141 damage. And their normal attacks aren't exactly, you know, pitiful either. They do quite a bit of damage. The best way to kill those, as you just saw, is to circle them, because they don't follow you. Their attacks will not follow you, so if you get up close and circle them, you're good. Now these ghost gods do the same things as the Ents and the slime god in the sense they try to track you, but their attacks are also 180 degrees, so there's really no way to force them to shoot in the wrong direction. Although you can get them to shoot behind if you're good, and it's really hard for me to do. I don't bother. Basically, you need pretty long range or good defense to kill a ghost god, because each of those attacks do about 100 damage. And I'll show you in a little bit. And here's two Ent gods. As I said, with the slime god, you can get them to fire in the wrong direction, which I just didn't do very well there. And then if you keep strafing properly, you should be able to kill them without taking any damage, although it takes a little while with this pitiful knife. But apparently I'm bad. And it pretty much comes down to practice. Ow! Ow! Alright, I'm going to go back to the Nexus briefly. Pretty much comes down to practice, and that's pretty much it. Good defense also helps, so I don't mind that. I can just walk up to them and shoot them, because they only do about 10 damage a shot. But on someone like this, I can't do that, obviously. Let's see here. Also, if you don't know, you can recognize the Godlands by the blackness. Okay, here's another Ent God. Do the same strategy. You never want to circle an Ent God, by the way. It's a good way to eat all of his bullets. You want to do what I'm doing. If I tried to circle him, and I won't do it, because I will eat all of his bullets. You'll probably die, unless you have good defense. That's a Mad Lab, and normally I would do that, but I'm also level 14 and have crappy gear, so that would be stupid. By the way, these guys right here, these are constructs. They just heal themselves. Usually they're worthless to kill because they don't actually drop anything, and they're just a nuisance. So now I have two gods, and this is an issue for me because although I can kill most of them by themselves pretty quickly, not very quickly, but pretty easily, two of them is an issue. Especially these two. Ow. Okay, I'm going to run back now. As you can see, it's quite hard for a level 14 to kill gods, even if I've done it for so long. I've mostly done it on characters with longer range, like a Necro. I can just walk backwards and they just run into bullets and it's easy. But those beholders shoot the same bullets as the Ghost God, which do about 100-something-ish damage to me. So I try to avoid them. I'll try to take a shot from one to see how much... Oh, my phone is ringing. Hang on, I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. We'll get back to playing more Realm of the Mad God. Now, where was I? I was busy trying to show people how to fight the gods. Also, hopefully, if you're trying to fight gods, you're not level 14 with crappy gear. And you'll actually be in much better shape than I am to kill them. Long-range classes are probably the easiest to kill gods with, just because none of them can really outrange you. And I can show that later, maybe. I have a priest that I could use, but I don't want the video to get too long. I have to try to find some gods. Sprite god's probably the hardest for me to kill, at least on a melee character, because although you can circle them like the Medusa, they also don't move. They're pretty much stationary, especially one in a place like that. There's no way I'm going to be able to kill him, so I'm just going to ignore him. You have to get close to them and be able to circle them in order to kill them effectively, or have a longer range weapon than me. So I'm not going to bother. Now, I'd say the hardest god is the Leviathan, because he just kind of moves around like a madman and shoots bullets everywhere. And if I find one, I'll show you. And I'll just get a little further into the Godlands here. That wasn't really useful at all. Also, if it's not obvious, you can teleport to anyone on the map at any time, but you have to wait. Oh, God, is this... Yeah, this is a Grand Sphinx. I'm not going to bother. That would be suicidal for me at this level. Anyway, you can teleport to anyone on the map at any time, but you have to wait 10 seconds between teleports, which is incredibly useful for just moving around. I'm gonna go over here instead. Aha! Here we go. One of these Ents. Ow. Okay, these flying brains, the big red things, shoot some shots pretty rapidly, which is their kind of thing. They shoot them in all directions pretty quickly, but they also don't do a whole lot of damage. So if you have max defense or so, or you're a knight or something like that, you pretty much just walk up to them and smack them and you'll be okay. These things are the Jins, and they shoot in just, yeah, crazy patterns. And then they're invincible for a while, and then they'll walk up to you, and that's the best time to hit them, is right after they stop walking up to you, because you can hit them a couple times and then back up. Because their attacks are pretty hard to dodge, just because they go everywhere. I'm gonna try to use my cloaking for great justice. Oh. Well, that could happen. Obviously, I'm bad at rogue. Okay. Yeah, so that's me dying. You're presented with the screen. It's very sad, and that's unfortunate. So I'm gonna show how to kill some gods properly with a longer range character, which is what you'd likely be doing if you don't know how to kill gods yet. I would recommend not doing a level 13 rogue with crappy gear. Anyway. Alright. So I'll try to separate myself from people just so I can show off some of the gods again. So here's a ghost god. Obviously, the range is not very great on this thing, on the ghost god, so I can just stand over here and just do that, and they die pretty quickly. Much, much harder for a melee character. Here's this brain. Look. Look how much damage this thing does to me. I just don't care about it. I can walk up to it and do that. The thing's much more dangerous when you don't have max defense. Oh, God! Okay, I found a lot of gods. But pretty much with a long-range character, you just back up. And that's it. You just keep backing up, and keep shooting. It's pretty easy for a long-range character. What's tricky is trying to kill one on a melee character, like a knight, without max stats and stuff. So, like I said, just keep back. I don't have to circle. I don't have to dodge in funny patterns. Just keep backing up on a long-range character, and you can kill gods pretty quickly that way. Now, you do have to dodge a little bit, but nothing like what you do with a melee character. Also, gods tend to have like a special thing that they do beyond their special attack. So, for instance, the beholders, these eyeball things, will shoot blindness. So if I hit that, I become blind, and it's actually kind of annoying. Got a thing. Oh, so here's a Leviathan. See how they just kind of shoot things everywhere? These, oh, I can't really see it now. Get this Medusa. Ow! Stop that. I ran into one of the Medusa's bombs, which is really what makes them deadly. If 2 or 3 of those lands on, and there's like a group of Medusas, you can die pretty quickly. So this guy just shoots everywhere. So usually, if you see Medusas in groups of 2, 3, 4, be very careful, because that can kill good characters as well as bad pretty quickly. Pretty sure I've died to them multiple times. So the cool thing about Priest is that you pretty much invincible, because I can just keep taking hits and then heal. Same thing with Necro. Necro is pretty good for farming just because he can heal. You have to get pretty good at dodging in order to farm with other characters so that your natural regeneration saves you. So if you're just starting Godlands, I'd recommend some kind of healing class like Priest or Necro. Anyway, I don't think anybody wants to see me continually farm Godlands like this. I think I've gone over all the gods. I think I haven't gone over the White Demons yet. Let's see if I can find one. But basically, they actually have the same kind of thing as the Ents and the Slimes do, in the sense that you can strafe back and forth to kill them. But they shoot much faster, so it's a bit harder. The timing's different. They also have armor-piercing rounds, which makes them incredibly deadly for armored classes. This is one of the only gods I hesitate to walk up to and smack with a knight. Oh, it's a golden shield. Kind of hard to sell those, I think. I don't usually bother. I wish I could find one. Ah, here they are. See, if I hit one of these, see this purple damage? That means that's armor piercing. It completely ignores my defense. And you see these things kind of shoot in crazy patterns, so it's kind of hard to get close with a melee character. And that's pretty much all the gods. Let me finish these off to show something about the White Demon. Also, about half the gods can drop a different... if I move back and forth, I can get them to fire in the wrong direction again. That's a good way of killing them on a melee character. So ghost gods can drop these undead layers. The boss there drops wisdom potions. Medusas can drop abyss of demons. The flying brain things can drop mad labs, and sprites can drop sprite world. And once you get good defense, it's worth doing dungeons. Sprite world's probably the easiest. I ran through it a couple times in my other videos. Undead layer being the next easiest. The boss can be pretty tricky, but once you know his attacks, it's not bad. It's worth learning about his attacks though, because if you're not careful, he can kill you. Some of the things there also can kill you. The slimes, there's a bunch of traps, and I'm dying. So yeah, it's worth running Undead Layer on some characters you don't mind getting killed first before trying it. I'll run it later on a different video with someone else, I think. I could try running it on a priest if I find one again quickly, but I don't want this video to run a whole lot longer. So that's how I train and how I kill gods. And unfortunately, the guy I was training happened to die. So I'm probably end up creating another one later and giving him better items so that I don't die, or at least not try to kill gods when I'm level 13 with bad items, and just sit around and get XP first. But it's definitely worth getting someone as a farmer character initially, just so you can give your dudes better items, because it makes the training process much easier. And that's pretty much all I have to show. You saw me die. Hopefully you won't see me die again by the end of this. I think I'm going to stop the video here. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.